I'm Krishna. I'm having 10 years of industrial experience working for a global MNCs as a lead cloud engineer and database architect. Also, I'm having a 4 years of experience in a corporate training.
Okay. So let's go for recap. So someone can summarize that what all we have been discussed yesterday. Anything you remember?
About the data, what is data, right? Okay. Flow of data.
Okay, what is data we discussed?
Database and data warehouse, what's the difference?
Database versus database, data warehouses. What else we discussed? Others also.
What is crude? Create, read, updated.
Yeah, what is crude? What is crude? What is CRUD?
Create, read, update, delete.
Create, read, update, delete. Perfect. Okay. Someone said OLTP versus OLAP. What is OLTP and OLAP? What's the OLTP? What is
Online
that?
transaction process. Yeah.
Online transactional processing versus
Online analytical processing.
online analytical processing. Okay. Others also, please take a chance. Okay. Please take a chance. Can explain that very brief about what is OLTP and OLAP. What the points we discussed.
I think the databases fall in OLTP, data warehouses in OLAP.
Yeah, correct. That's right. Okay. What is the reason behind?
The real-time updates happen in OLTP, whereas analytical queries or that's going to happen in OLAP.
Perfect. Okay, aggregations. So let's call it as analyzing plus reporting plus aggregating. Okay, this all called OLAP. It will happen. Okay. Yeah. Anything more? Column and row oriented. Salman, come on, audio Salman. Do you have any audio issues? Salman, you able to hear me? Hello? Okay, that's fine, Salman. Okay, if you have audio issues, no mic. Oh, good man. Okay, good. No worries. Yeah, you can continue this one. Okay. OLTP is row oriented. Okay, folks who didn't understand what is row oriented and what is column oriented, we will be learning this. Okay, I will have a nice diagram to show that how really it is. How really this OLTP optimized way of OLAP. Okay, why the reason it has been designed the warehouses like that. Okay, so that we will discuss. Okay, okay, column oriented and
OLTP small queries.
OLTP for small queries. Okay.
OLAP large queries.
Yeah, large queries. Sorry, OLAP is going to be, you can run your large queries. Okay. So in a directly proportional to large queries or small queries, right? So large queries to aggregate the data. Okay. So what it means you have to understand saying that when I say it's a small queries and large queries means OLTP deals with small volume of a data. Okay. Yesterday we have been discussing, right? If you bought a single agarbatti, I'm going to put that particular record, insert single agarbatti into OLTP database. But when I say OLAP will deals with a lot of data, large queries. Large queries doesn't mean it's going to be lengthy queries. Okay. Though it is a lengthy queries, you are going to talk about the volume of the data you're going to talk here. That means I want the revenue generated for agarbattis from last 1 year. Okay. You're talking about a huge volume of data here. Okay. OLAPs are designed to deal with huge volume of data. Go ahead. What else we discussed? Nice 9 points, almost 7 points we covered in this. Yeah, please go ahead. Anything you guys can think of? Okay, let me quickly go up and see. Medallion, I think we discussed medallion also, right, yesterday. So that's fine. OLAP, OLTP, transactional, streaming analytics, no dynamic. Okay. 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 So just to reiterate, right, once again in backend how it runs, right? The OLTP databases will be always an active. Okay, because it deals with the real-time data. Okay, even the resources which been used for it. Okay, the resources here, the major resources will go to the ETL process, sorry, data replication process, ETL process, and the manually running by a company staff or a developers or someone will be less. Okay, when comes to here, this can be a batch process or it can be a streaming process also. Here the data can be in a way that it can wait for some time. Okay, so it no need to be in a proactive unless you have a real-time KPIs or real-time something like a very important thing to be delivered. Okay, so OLAP, you'll always have a flexibility. OLTP is always something like a cautious. You have to be make sure that the servers are active. Okay, so yeah, next one, anything? Couple of points, let me add it over here. Okay, so we discussed about databases and data warehouses, right? Majorly, the databases will be used for structural informations. Okay, that should be in a structured format. So now if I open an Excel sheet, okay, let me open. So you see this is in a structured way, right? So now I'm going to write saying that, okay, Sampath is there. Okay, Sampath is joined with us from we say November 21st. Okay, 2023 is the year. Okay, he joined KSR Data Vision. Okay, he joined KSR Data Vision. So like this, right? So Soumya, right? Soumya also joined with us from 22nd November 2023, KSR Data Vision. Okay, so now you see this is somehow it is a very structured way and easy to understand as well for you, right? So this kind of structured information will be loading into your databases. Okay, majorly, but if you ask me, Krishna, there is no possibility to have a unstructured data on this databases? Yes, there is a possibility, but 99.99% databases are being used because unstructured data. What could be an unstructured data? Let me put this into an unstructured data. Same data, I'm trying to put it into an unstructured data. Okay, so something like this. Okay, student information. Okay, I say that name is Sampath. Sampath, pardon me if I'm writing his name spelling correct wrong. Okay, Sampath. Okay, and then okay, and joining date is going to be 21st November. Okay, I open another one, or else I say that there is a semicolon and then year, right? So let's say year is equal to 2023, 2023, 2023, close it down, come down. Okay, here on top of it, institute for everyone, institute is a KSR database. Okay, you got information like this. Okay, so in this two, you can tell me that which is easy to understand for you guys. Okay, is this record is easy to you or this record is easy to understand? Like obviously, yeah, if you see this one is nicely says, right? Sampath joined with us on 21st November 2023 and KSR design data vision. Okay, and we got the similar data in a semi-structured data. Okay, in a semi-structured data it came in here. It is saying institute is a KSR data vision, student info, inside a student info, Sampath name, joined on 21st November and year is equals to 2023. Okay, now you are getting data like this. Okay, in this case, what happens is this is called semi-structured data. This is how it looks, semi-structured data. Okay, so what happens is when you put like this, doing analytics on a semi-structured data is a little complex. I won't say it's a super complex. It is a little complex. Why it is little complex is by writing a SQL, you have to turn up your data, the semi-structured data like this to this to perform your analytics. Okay, everything you can write it in SQL. Okay, but where you are going to store this data, right? Storing a structured data would cost you more. Okay, So let's try to understand very simple, okay? Human, how we find difficulty of saying this is hard, this is easy, okay? System also understands in the same way, okay? System is nothing but the thing we have to code in a backend, right? System means in backend, someone just a minute, guys. Just to think that as a human, system is also a human to understand something, okay? So what happened is now system, I'm saying system, you have to understand this, okay? You have to understand this means I will build the system, right? So I need to tell system saying that I need to write a coding, little complex coding, okay? To understand this format, okay, where and all comma is there, institute is common for everyone, okay, like this. To understand, I need to write a little complex code to make it, okay? But this one, right, this one is already in structured, so there is nothing I can do. So now I stored this data in a file call. Think that I stored this two data in a file, okay? This file one, this is called file one, okay? This is called file two, okay? This is called file two. In this file one, I want to read a data. So it's very simple for me. So I will say that select from file one, okay, where name is equals to Sampath, okay? So I'll get this record. Simple, very simple. You have written. But when you come to here, the code will be looks like this, okay? So the code looks like select, okay, something like array of, okay, we need a name, right? So institute dot name array close from file 2, okay, where or else this whole thing I need a record, right? So I need only thing that I need only which institute he is working on, okay? So I'll put select institute name, okay? Here I need also institute name, right? So how institute name you'll get array of, so I'm just giving how complex it is, okay? Institute name, okay, where you have to bring the data from institute name is equals to is going to be a path, okay? So you have to write little complex, okay? Comparatively to this one, I'm written actually to just show you in a very verbal way. So JSON data or a Parquet data, when you are dealing, we have to deal with a different way. It's not a straightforward way. You have to write the data, okay? Write the query. So what happens is you have to deal means you have to somehow while you're running this your select query, you have to parse this data getting into in a structured way. Then you can able to visualize the data, okay? But here the data is already been in a structured way, okay? So you don't need to write any complex codes for that to get the data out, okay? In that cases, what happened, you have written a very simple statement. See, I have struggled a bit to write this particular query, but this one was a little easier for me, okay? System also does the same thing in a backend. When it sees a semi-structured data, okay, to deal with this kind of data, it struggles a bit, okay? Struggling for what? What it is struggling for now? Any guess?
To get the information.
Struggling to get the information, to process the information, or to process the data, right? So processing, right? Processing is costly with semi-structured data, okay? With structured data, it is cheap. Very, very important question, okay? Next one, okay? Now I'm storing this file one, I'm storing this file two, okay? File 2, this is a raw data, it is coming like this, okay? Raw data, it is coming like this from a thing that IoT devices, Internet of Things, or your webcam. Your webcam is sending, or else my institute is sending data for me. We do analytics in a backend, right? So when we go with our website, so our website is giving me data like this, okay? So it is giving me data like this, and I want to store a data somewhere. And if I give this data to Mahesh is the team. Mahesh team will do this, all the stats backend, okay? Mahesh team is failed to understand this. They don't know what is this format, and this is all failures. Okay, they couldn't able to process this data. Okay, in that case, what they told is, Krishna, this is something we are not able to understand. So you get us the data into in a structured format. Okay, structured format. So when I give structured format to him, what is happening is he can able to run simple queries and able to understand. Processing became cheap to him. Okay, for me to turn up from here to here, I have to write a complex code, which is going to be a little costly for me. Okay, so it's processing. After once Mahesh got this data, for him to create a reporting on top of it is going to be very easy, cheap. Okay, to make this data, I have to write a code. I have to process this data to bring that into this shape, which needs a complex logic for me, which is a costly for me. Okay, it might need to run for more time to understand, parse, everything like that. Okay, but coming to the storage. Okay, coming to the storage, this is a raw data. Okay, this is the website is sending. So when website is sending, I didn't made any processing on top of it. Raw data means as it appeared to me, I'm saving similarly. Okay, I'm not making any changes to it. I'm saving as is like this. Okay, when I save it as is in the storage, okay, what happens is there is no processing happening on top of this one. As is, you are going to save it. So you are not going to make any changes to it. The size, the storage of this is going to be a little less when you compare to after processing. Okay, structured data, what happens is the storage, what will happen is when you process this one and when you pass this information to the processed layer, then what will happen is storage will be a little more, because you will, this is a raw data, right? So raw data doesn't have any, you don't need to put any efforts over here. Okay, you don't need to put any efforts over. Instead of storage, right, let me post it as a cost. Okay, cost of having you semi-structured data is little less because you are not going to do any work on top of it. Whatever it is appeared, I'm storing that. Okay, after storing the information, then we are processing the data. That processing data is going to be a little costly for me. Okay, because I have to put more efforts on top of it. So creating structured data is costly. Storing, as is raw data is going to be cheap. Okay, think that what will happen is you have bought some called ATA or something you bought from the market. Okay, you just brought it your ATA and you kept it into your home. Okay, you bought it for $100, that is fine. You bought 100 kgs of it, you bought it and you kept it into your home. Okay, your raw material is there with you. Okay, now your raw material has to be turned up into some item called chapati or something. Okay, then what you need to do, you have to invest things on top of it. What is that? You have to invest a time, you have to invest electricity. Okay, you have to invest a gas, you have to invest a person to paying for that. Okay, so your raw material is turning into a particular item. Okay, so your chapati will be sold, but your atta will not be sold. Okay, so what happens is when it turns into a chapati, so what happens is that particular raw item is some structured which you can able to sell in the business. Okay, so that's called this one. So your raw item, if you invest some money on top of it, in our cases, if you invest the coding, servers, everything for that, it turns into a structured data. Okay, so think that as is data, whenever you store as is data, which is going to have a less costly. Okay, when you convert it into, it is going to be you have to spend some money on top of it and you have to convert into a structured data. Okay, so what happens here, it is having a raw data will cost you less. When you convert the data into a structured format, it is going to cost you high. Okay, now coming back to the point where I'm going to do it is this, what the people will say is, can you tell me that interview questions? Okay, can you tell me that having a raw data, so you have a scenario, that scenario is you are getting a data from some third party or some people, you are getting a data. Okay, in files you are getting, or some way you are getting the data. Okay, he said that you are getting a 1 TB of data every day. Okay, 1 TB of data you are getting, and what happens is this is in a semi-structured way or unstructured way, whatever you can call. Okay, unstructured way. So now what happened is, company doesn't need this data to be processed right now. They are okay. They want to store this data for now. Okay. They want to store this data for now. They will be analyzing this data somewhere after 6 months. Okay. What is your approach? Okay. What is your approach here?
Store it and then analyze after 6 months.
Store it.
And then take action after 6 months when it is required.
Analyze after 6 months.
6 months. Yeah.
Okay. So now I say that this is a semi-structured data. If I want to have a quick look on this one, okay, like this, it is there. I want to see what kind of data is coming. It's okay. I don't need to do any analysis or something, but just quickly, if I open a single file, I am seeing like this data. Okay. So what is your approach? What you will highlight to the company or your requirement, whoever is giving requirement to you, right? So say that this is semi-structured data. Okay. I'm not able to understand how it looks. Okay. I need it some way, in a way that I should able to understand it. What is your approach in that? Okay. Here you mentioned I will store it and analyze after six months, but I highlighted saying that this is a semi-structured data. So I might not able to understand. Tell me what is the risk if I able to convert? What is the risk here? Okay. So what we need to tell them. Yeah, please go ahead.
You may lose the track of what is important, something like that. I don't know.
No, he won't lose the track. You are converting the data. This data also is going to stay with you. Okay, this data, you are processing the data. You're not deleting the existing one. You're just processing the data and having another copy in a better format in a different place. Okay, so I'll tell you the risks over here. Okay, one is if someone asks me saying that, okay, there is a data coming up. We don't have much use with it for next 6 months. Okay, tell me what your approach. Definitely this kind of questions, right? People who are 6 years experience, 8-year experience, they will ask you. Here, your approach should be, it's not like data is coming. If you want me to convert, I'll convert and put it. That's not the thing they will expect from you. They expect is what is a good, what is a bad, what are the pros and what is the cons. Okay, what is the pros and cons over here? First thing is I will understand the business requirement. Okay, what you told me initially saying that after 6 months is where the business use case is there for this data. Now you're asking me to convert the data. Okay, so if you want me to convert the data, I have to put money, time on building the ETL logics. Okay, ETL logic. What this ETL logic will do is read semi-structured data. Okay, converting into structured data. Okay, are you ready to put money for this? Okay. Second thing, after I convert the data, I have to load it into some database, which will have a structured information. Okay. Information, which you can able to easily understand. It looks like this, you can able to easily understand. Okay. For this loading, come think that here ETL means extract, transform, load. This second point also comes into your first one only. Okay. You have to spend a $10,000 on this one. I'll give a rough estimate. Okay. Next one is once we load the data, this database storage also will be occupied. Okay. Think that 1 TB it is occupied again. So for this storage also you have to pay money. Okay. So every day to run these ETLs and store the data into databases, I need some resources, servers to be available. Okay, and some orchestration tool to be available to me to run it. Okay, another, okay, resources plus orchestration tool is to be available. Another $500 you have to pay for that. Okay, another one. So what happens is we are storing the raw data. We are already storing the raw data and we are storing the processed data also. You are wasting money over here and you are wasting money over here also. Okay. Tell me that, see, manager or a product owner, whoever given requirement to me, after I load the data into a structured database, do you want me to delete this data or you want me to keep this data as is in the raw layer? Okay. If we are going to keep the raw layer data, then what happens? You have to pay double money for the storage here. Okay. One is pay money at a raw layer plus pay money at a processed layer. Okay. So no, I want to archive the data. Once it is loaded the data here, archive means delete the data, purge the data. Okay. Any words, right? People use purge Purging is nothing but you are removing the files. Remove is also a remove the file. Delete is also delete the files. Okay. Archive also, it's archive meaning is there could be a deleting of files or you are moving that files into your different locations. Okay, that have any meaning. We will have a concept called archival mechanism also. We will learn that. Okay. So if you want me to do that archival, okay, I need an extra scripts or something to be built that will also cost you. Okay. This is a detailed explanation of what is your ask now. Okay. So now you tell me, take a decision and tell me if you want me to do this one, I'll be doing this all. Okay. This is how you have to explain people who have a 6 or 7 years greater than experience, right? So whenever we get an ask, okay, so we have to detailedly explain this way. So why we want to do it and what are the risks around to it. Okay, how business is really going to bear this particular cost, because now manager thought that this is going to, he don't know technical things, right? He thought like you can do it in a 1 hour or 2 hours. He felt like that and he told you, okay, let's convert it and put it over there. But he doesn't know these are all the things is going to cost and his billing is going to be more. When you explain this, then he will think that, yes, I don't have really any use of the data of till next 6 months, right? Why I want to put money on this one? That's where he can take a decision. Okay, your analysis and your knowledge has turned up that particular data of a requirement to it into a decision making, item. Okay, he could able to take a decision. Okay, so now why I'm saying here it is coming back to the question, right? So semi-structured data is going to be a less cost to you comparative to the structured data, because structured data means you have to invest your time and the technology on. Okay, so does it make sense?
Can you repeat that?
Okay.
Yes.
Let me tell you that again. Okay, semi-structured data means, sorry, unstructured data means which is coming from your raw. You are saving as is. How it is coming, you are saving like that. You are not making any changes or you are not running anything on top of it. Okay, so someone is sending file and you are putting into your hard disk. Okay, from that hard disk to you have to load the data into some tables, I said. Okay, in that cases, what you need to do, you have to do all these activities. Okay, so as you have to do all these activities, which is going to be a time and money you have to spend on top of it. Okay, so to bring your raw data into a processed layer, okay, into in a structured way, so it is going to cost you that. So having a raw layer, data saving in a raw layer is going to be a cheaper than when you compare to having a data into a structured way. Okay, does that make sense? Stolen data. Okay.
Only for storage.
So what is that?
It's cheaper to store in
Process. Processing
yeah,
also. Processing.
Processing.
Processing. Yeah. So that's the reason, right? So let me, I want to come back to this one. So if you understand this concept, I'll correlate with the databases now. Okay. Let me correlate this with the databases now. Okay. So what happens with this, right? So now going back to the same point we discussed here, right? Databases will almost have a raw data, will almost have a structured data. Okay. So databases like, okay, Oracle, okay, MySQL, PostgreSQL, okay, DB2, okay. So like this, right? So what happens is this all will maximum to maximum, okay, they store the data in a structured way. Okay, and then coming to data warehouses will have a versatile of data. Okay, so databases, what will happen is versatile of data. What kind of data it can have? It can have an unstructured data which doesn't have any some feedback forms or comments given by your descriptions, comments given by customers. So it doesn't have some form to identify that, okay, this is what it have. It can have any data. Okay, unstructured data, semi-structured data. Somehow you need to understand the separators, delimiters like that to understand what is what in the semi-structured data. Okay, and structured data. Okay, your data warehouses will have a different kinds of sources. Yesterday we've been seeing, right, the diagram. So in that diagram you just remember that databases, files, and then some other databases all been pointing towards the data warehouse, because data warehouses can have any kind of data. Okay, any format of data. That is like, it could be an unstructured, semi-structured, or structured data. But when you come to databases, you will be having a structured data will be available. Okay, so reason is, what happens is, okay, yeah. So coming back to the question, so this one, right? What is the question, right? So when someone asks you saying that, which one is better for you? Okay, is it an unstructured or raw data is better to store, or structured data is better to store? Okay, so coming to that point, right? Now I say, I have a file in my system, my local system, my laptop. Okay, there is a file in my laptop. I want to write some query on top of it to get the information. Okay, so writing query on top of this file is going to be not possible for me. Okay, but storing this particular file in my laptop is going to be a 2 MB. It is stored only 2 MB for me. But to do this query activities, to do this analysis, to perform analysis, you have to load this data somewhere else so that I can write my SQL queries or something. Okay, SQL will be used, okay, to run your queries to understand the data. Okay, query language. So what we say is, if you see here, SQL is nothing but a structured query languages which will help you to communicate with databases or data warehouses. Okay, so now to mission we are not talking, we are communicating, right? So how we are communicating, that we have a medium called as an English now. So we are communicating in English. Okay, so to communicate with the databases and the data warehouses, mission should have some language to understand it. That language is called as a SQL. Okay, which is called structured query language. Okay, structured means we discussed just like what is the structuring the data, right? So we have seen that nicely in an Excel sheet, Sampath, this one in a single row. Okay, that's called structured. Something is a structured way. Okay, so you can use your SQLs to communicate with the databases and data warehouses to pull the required information to do your analysis. Okay, so without this, you are not going to communicate. Okay, so now think that file have a 10,000 lines. Okay, your grocery made a 10,000 transactions today, everything been saved into in a file. Okay, now is it possible for you to go through the 10,000 lines at a one go and understand that what is your business happened today? As a human, it is possible for you? Definitely not, right? So going through 10,000 lines and understanding what is your business actually made today is very problem for me. Okay, to make it easy, what we do, we will load this file. Okay, we load this file data into some database. Okay, and we will write some queries on top of it, which is going to give me all the details within a fraction of minutes. Okay, so to do that kind of activities, companies or whoever it is, what is the purpose of this databases or a data warehouses, right? So to perform this kind of analysis, it could be any analysis, right? So analysis means it could be a profit analysis. Okay, it could be a revenue analysis, it could be a trend analysis, it could be anything. Okay, unless you are not doing any analysis, you don't come up to a particular decision. Okay, to do this kind of analysis, okay, what you need is, you need a SQL. Okay, SQL is a communicator or a medium between a human, okay, and a databases or data warehouses. Okay, so this SQL is definitely needed to communicate and write the queries. So this is how we use the SQL queries or the SQL. Okay, in this SQL itself, we have a different types of SQLs. Okay, so SQL itself, right? A lot of databases are there. In this SQL itself, SQL you can write to read any kind of data. Nowadays, the fancy thing is, right? Not nowadays, from half a decade or something. Usually before, what happened? All the data was somehow it was in a structured way. Okay, then now what we happened is, now SQL queries can be written to read unstructured data. Okay, and semi-structured data also. Okay, semi-structured data also. Okay, the SQL queries, you can now, we got a few functions. Okay, like a JSON. If we are getting people knows, right? Semi-structured data like Parquet data or JSON data our Avro data, our XML data, okay, or these are all we can call, these are all we can call as a semi-structured data. Okay, semi-structured data. And then when you go into structured data, it could be something like an Excel. Okay, so CSV, comma separated values, or Excel, which is a tab separated values. Okay, or some other delimiter versus something like someone said that we maintained semicolon as a separator. Okay, so some perfectly define these things. Okay, this is going to be this particular files we are going to deal. Okay, so when you come to unstructured, right? Unstructured is nothing but videos. Okay, images. Okay, which could be a C lob or a B lob. Okay, so we are going to deal this kind of structured data also. So what happens is unstructured, which doesn't have any, it have a meaning. So example, I would say what happened. Now you have an image. Okay, you have some image and you want to process the data, but how system will understand that? Okay, image will have all the binary information in a backend. What is binary information? 10101010. Okay, in backend what happens is it's all the what happens, the image converts as in a binary numbers in a backend, and then you will store the data into a databases. Okay, that's called as in a blob. Okay, so what we do is we will be saving the images and all into the databases. Okay, so once we store the data as a data it is. Okay, when it goes out of the a system, and when we go into a particular system, it converts as an image. So you can store the images also. Okay, so what happened with this kind of structures when it is evolved, right? When it is actually came into the markets. Okay, now from last 1 decade, I would say that is from 2012 or 2010, we are getting a high popular of using this kind of structures. Okay, nowadays, lot of the data, right? Lot of the data is coming in either Parquet, okay, either Parquet manner, or it is coming in a Avro formats. Okay, there is an ORC also. Okay, optimized row columnarized format also it is there. Okay, we don't need to go. I'm just giving a high level example to compare what is databases and data warehouses. Okay, so the only importance of these files is how it stores the data inside each file format. Okay, so how if you created a Parquet file, okay, so Parquet file, what it does is it compresses the data, it maintains the metadata in a whole, and it says that if you have loaded 1 TB of data into a Parquet file, when it transfers the data from place to place, what will happen is it is going to show it as just like a 1 GB or a 2 GB in a compressed manner. It will show the data for us. Okay, automatic compression, automatic metadata creation. This all happens. So I don't need to go more detail into to understand, but there are different types of data. Okay, our end goal is to understand. So most of the databases will be holding a structured information, and data warehouses will be holding a different versatile of information. So we will be seeing unstructured, semi-structured, and structured data. So when we go into a Snowflake, we will be dealing with all these kinds of formats. Okay, we'll deal with this kind of formats, and in that cases, you will able to compare what kind of queries we are writing on a MySQL and what kind of queries we are writing on a Snowflake will deviate. Okay, we deal with the structured data, we deal with the unstructured data also when we go into Snowflake. Okay, does it make sense?
Krishna.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I have a doubt, Krishna. I just have a doubt. See whether unstructured data supported by data warehouse. I really, you see, there is a concept like data lake, right? Data warehouse doesn't support unstructured, correct?
Yeah. So
That's the reason the data lakes has been implemented, right?
so now let's call it as a Snowflake is a data warehouse. Okay, our Databricks is data lake we are calling, right? So let me tell you the difference between a lake and lake. So this both is nothing but a data lake, and data warehouse is called as a lake house. Okay, this is how it has been. Data warehouse plus data lake is equals to is called lake house. One sec, guys. Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah, so data warehouse plus data lake is equals to lake house is something which has been nowadays you are saying this is a fancy word. Okay, so data warehouses also had a, so what is meant by saving this data, you mean? Okay, just let me understand in a broader way, what is meant by you can store the unstructured data? Any example you can give?
Like photos and videos or any kind of unformatted, like not processed data, everything loaded in this data lake, correct?
Images.
Images, right?
So what is images? Images means lake house means you load the data somewhere. Okay. How in a backend it converts? Any idea how it backend it converts?
Blob.
Bits.
Blob, you mean to say blob?
Exactly. Okay. It converts as a blob, which is a binary large object. Okay. So what happens is this binary large object, it converts that images into a binary numbers in a backend. Okay. 1001, 1001, 1001, something like this. It will create based on the size of the image, the pixels of the image, or whatever it could be. Okay. So what happened is lake house, right? Before lake, there is nothing called lake house. Okay. So let me tell you what is the difference of this lake house also. Data warehouses and even databases from 2006, 2016 or 17, we have two special data types which called as in a CLOB and a BLOB, which is a character large object, which is a binary large object. Okay, which can able to store the data also. Okay, which you can able to store the data also. It's not like you cannot so now I say you are getting an image. Okay, image information. When you get it into an image, any image, open it within a notepad or something, you will be seeing some data. Okay, some unformatted data you will be seeing. Okay, we think that is something like a corrupted. Save it back it as an image and it saves as an image, and then if you open it, it opens as an image in a open editor. Okay, in backend what happens is everything is something like a code, everything something like a characters in a backend, it turns like that. Okay, so what happens is this particular image, when you try to load the information into databases in a backend, it is going to store it as in a CPLOG. Okay, so all the data, it's based on data. This data, if we say that Lakehouse is going to store this kind of data, okay, I would say that this kind of data types, which is already there in the databases and data warehouses from way ahead. Okay, it is there from a way ahead to store this kind of informations. Okay, but now what is evolved here, Krishna? What is the lake houses they have done? Okay, what is the speciality with this lake houses? Okay, that this lake houses are more proficient and more efficient now. Okay, what is this means more efficient is something that, so what you can able to do is you can have here blob is something, here also you need to read and process this data to load it into your blob data types. Okay, here now lake houses, what they have done is you have the unstructured files, unstructured data somewhere. Okay, you feed it to the lake houses. Okay, you feed it into the lake houses, automatically it can able to identify saying that this is something like unstructured data, where you can able to store it into a different columns. Example, you take a Snowflake, which is called as a one column called as a variant. Okay, this says that you can able to load any kind of data. Okay, end of the day, we have to store in a database. You load any kind of data, it could be unstructured, it could be any data, I can able to digest that. Okay, what internally does is whatever the images or whatever you have been loaded, it converts the data into perfect format. That is like either it is a binary, either it is character, whatever your image backend have the data, it says that I can able to digest the data and keep it with me. Okay, and what this has done is it has given a 16 MB of a storage for a particular column. Okay, one column can have a 16 MB. Okay, if you say one column, if one column have 100 rows, each row can able to fit in with the 16 MB. You can have any kind of data. If your video you can convert into a text or a binary in a backend, so that also can be stored inside your variant, but this should be within 16 MB. Okay, this is something was not there when you are says that which I was into in a warehouses and databases. Okay, so coming to the lake house, right? One more way of understanding the lake houses. Okay, so now example, how many of you folks know that there is in a hive? Okay, hive or hive, what is hive? Okay,
Database.
Database. Okay, so instead of calling it as a database, it's also one of the data warehouse, plus it is a lake also. So okay, why I call this one is something is like that. Hive, we can store the unstructured data. How we can store the semi-structured data. Okay, what happens is all you need to do is you will be dumping in your directory. Okay, after you dumping the file, Hive is just Hive have two different types of tables. I don't go in detail. Okay, so Hive is a directory. What you will do is simply you will put the file there. Any file it could be TSV file, or it could be CSV file, or whatever file. Okay, on top of this file you will be creating your Hive tables. Hive itself is not a database. Hive it's not have any storages. Hive will have a backend storage. Okay, there you will be putting a file and you will be creating your Hive table on top of it. Okay, in a way how you create is each column you will be defining a data types. Okay, that we will be learning in the next class. You will be creating a data types. Based on your data type, you are going to deal it saying that either it is in a structured data, either it is in a unstructured data. Okay, inside think in a perspective of a databases. When I want to query something, how the data looks to me. Okay, in that cases, what your Hive is going to do, your Hive is also going to store any kind of, I'm saying it is going to store any kind of data. Okay, now I'll compare this with S3. AWS S3 is also a data lake. Okay, I'll say Azure blob storage is also lake house. Okay, going back to GCP, GCS is also lake house. Okay, GCS is also lake house. Plus I'll say Snowflake stages are also data lake. Okay, because on these directories you can able to have any kind of data. You call it as an images, you call it as an videos, you can have anything. Okay, you can able to store that data. Okay, so when is actually your problem starts is storing is totally fine. When you are processing and I want to put the data into in a tables. Okay, in that cases what will happen is you are going to put a processing struggling over that. Okay, which cost you. Okay, till this point you can call it as a lake house because it is a lake. It can able to digest any kind of structure of the data. Okay, once you put this information, process this information, where you will be keeping the data, you will be keeping in the data in a data warehouses. Okay, so now this whole combo is called, this is a lake. This is a lake where you are going to store your any kind of data. Okay, and you are processing this data and storing in a warehouse. Okay, then when you are storing this data into a warehouse, then this combination is called as a lake house combination. Okay, it doesn't mean that lake house combination you are not processing the data. What happens is you are storing the data here. Okay, and you are building a table on top of it to do an analytics. Okay, so this combination is called as a lake house. So this is not new. This is already there in the Hive. In Hive directory also, I could able to keep all my semi-structured and unstructured data, and I can create a Hive table on top of it to read the data in a whatever the format I need to do. Analytics or everything I can do it on my Hive tables. Okay, this is already there. But what is the difference between the Hive and here is called, you are doing it in over cloud. Okay, even Databricks is doing over a cloud because it's on Azure. Okay, so this is there. So now you can see that Snowflake is also lake house, data lake. Okay, because we also deal with a different lake is nothing but we don't need to confuse. Okay, lake is can have any kind of structured of data. It could be a structured, it could be semi-structured, it could be unstructured data, which can able to digest in itself. Okay, that can be done by different other teams. Okay, but lake house means lake is there. You have your data dropped on it. House is nothing but data warehouse. Okay, on top of it, you have to create your tables. Okay, because without tables, you cannot understand what exactly is happening in the lake. Okay, that combination is called as a data warehouse or lake house. Okay, it's called as a lake house because you are dealing a lake data. It could have any format. Okay, lake doesn't you cannot say it's always a structured, always a semi-structured, always a unstructured. It have any format of data, and you processing and loading into a data warehouse. That's combination called as a lake house. Okay, did I make sense? Blob shows, yeah. Okay, I'll make it little slow. Ashraf, don't worry, Ashraf. I'm just, we will discuss this when we go into Snowflake. Just want to resolve that problem. Okay, so yeah, going back. So we discussed about databases and we discussed about You know what is SQL? SQL is a communicator between a databases and data warehouses whenever you want to do
Hi,
some.
sir.
Okay. Sorry.
Hello.
What is that, Shiva?
Sir, I have a small doubt.
Yes,
There is
go
a
ahead.
concept called Hadoop, Hive, all these things, right?
Yes.
Uh,
Not in our
we have,
course. Yes.
yes, sir. In Hadoop and Hive, there is a different query language, HQL. We have to call it as, I think so. Hello?
HQL, JQLs. Okay, there are many things. Okay. Hive,
Yes, yes, sir.
HQL is nothing but you will be writing same SQL queries only. Okay.
Mhm.
Only thing is you will be using a few key terms or functionalities which Hive can able to understand.
Okay.
Okay. So
But
something like I'll tell you that location is a one keyword we'll use. Okay. Whenever you're reading some data, you're creating a tables, you need to inform your Hive table saying that this is where the files are there. You have, whenever I query to you, you have to go and get the data from the directories.
okay,
Okay. There's
okay.
some terminologies are there. Some terminologies are there for HQL, but end of the day, whatever the SQL you are writing, right? In a similar
Hmm.
fashion, you will also writing the HQLs.
Okay, sir. Sir, and the doubt, is there any concept called Hive and Hadoop in Azure or AWS?
Hadoop, Hadoop is itself is a different technology, is Hortonworks, right? So similar one, yes, Hadoop related. If you correlate Hadoop, which is a AWS EMR is going to be your Hadoop. Okay.
Okay.
Hadoop is not a technology. Hadoop is an architecture.
Yes, sir. Hadoop is architecture.
Hadoop is an architecture.
Distribution
How Hadoop
computation.
works. Okay. So I think this we have discussed in class 2 or 3, I believe, Shiva. Okay.
Sorry, sir. I'm
He was
didn't
not there. Okay.
remember.
Yeah, we have discussed about what is MS master slave mechanisms and all. So, but this is what we are going to do is this something conceptual. We will be going through a Spark architecture. I'll be helping out
Okay,
with a Spark architecture. At that point in time, I will be explaining this master slave mechanism.
okay.
Okay. But
Sir, actually, I have a small doubt.
yes, go ahead.
Can I call you after this class? If you provide, will you provide this your number?
Sure, sure. There will be a Raj or this Mahesh will be there. You don't worry. There will be a number. I'll post the number to you. Okay. You can
Hmm.
call to that number. They will connect to me. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. Any quick question before we go into okay. Yeah, before SQL we understand, right? So SQL is something is a communication medium. Tomorrow we'll understand how to create what are the data types we have it, what are the types of SQLs, DQLs, DCLs, DMLs, or why we call that one, and what is the purpose of the SQL. And we jump onto a bit of doing a SQL work also. Okay. Before that, anybody are willing to share their screen? We'll install a MySQL on your system and parallelly others also can do it. Ravi, Ganesh, Salman, anybody interested to share? Who is that? Is the installation different from, yeah, Soumya, Mac, right? I think you are the only person are there. I'll provide you the link. Okay. I'll provide you the link. You can try that link also.
Okay.
I'll for Windows, I'll be explaining. Yeah. Anybody? Sumant? If no one is willing to share, I have already installed in my system. Okay. So it will not allow me to install it again. I'll go through the steps. Okay. Or if you share, we'll do it right now. Okay. Do you want to install in my system? Yes, Krishna, please go ahead. Yeah. Okay, Raj, that's fine. Yeah. Make sure you join from mobile, laptop. Okay. So that will help you a lot. Yeah, Krishna, can you can you unmute yourself, Krishna?
Hello. Yes, yes,
Yeah, Krishna.
yes,
Good.
Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. We both are Krishnas. Okay, good. So let me give you
Sir, my name is actually Pavani. I took my husband's laptop. His name is Krishna.
who can start a collaboration. You can start collaboration. Someone already started. So let me change this. Okay. So can you try to share your screen?
Yes, yes. One second.
Yeah. Can you try to
You
share this?
cannot start screen share while the other participants is sharing.
Sorry, what is that? Perfect. I can see your screen. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Good. So let me give you a link. Okay, go to that link. I'm putting it on a chat. Okay, you still hear my voice, right?
Yeah.
I have pinged the link in chat. Can you grab that? Okay, others, right? Parallelly, can you please follow it?
I can't see any. I can't see any link.
I pinged it in a group.
Group.
Oh, sorry, I sent it to Salman. One sec. Let me send it to one. Sorry. Yeah. So others also can take that link. Please go to that link.
Yeah.
Okay. Select version 32, 8.0.32. This have some bugs still. Okay, come down. Select. Yeah, can you drop down it again? Okay, it is showing only 2 for you. Just let me check once again. Let me do it on my session. Okay, go to archives. You see the next one, archives. Yeah.
Yes.
Select the product version to 32. Okay, and then download it. Download 437.3. Yeah, save it anywhere you want it. Guys who joined from a mobile, right? If you want to note down the steps is also fine for me. But if you're parallelly trying, it is also fine for me. Okay. So after installing, you have to set your environmental paths as well for that. So that's very important. Installing is all we know. So we have done VLC and multiple installations, right? So installation could be little easy, but only thing is when you are setting up your paths is the problem. Okay. Is it downloaded? Can you go to downloads? Yeah. Okay. It's installed. Yeah. Double click on it. Open it. Yeah. Start installing it. Yeah, Raj, I will be sharing it again. Don't worry. Okay. Use custom model. Okay. Next. Okay. Let's select what are all we need, right? We need Workbench also. Open that MySQL servers, expand it. Okay. Expand that also. Yeah. Expand that as well. Yeah. Select that. Okay. Yeah. Next. That's correct. And then go to applications. We need Workbench is there. Yeah. Click Workbench. Workbench and Shell, both you can select. Shell also we'll try to see. Okay. Yeah. Open that. Okay. Can you come just show me the MySQL router? Yeah, we don't need router. Okay, come down. Yeah, connections anyway, automatically it gets created for us. Documentation is not needed for us. That's okay. Next, click next in the bottom. Okay, execute.
Krishna, we have to select custom, right?
Yeah, take customs. We need Shell and Workbench, both we need it. Else, if you don't select customs, automatically Shell only will get installed for you. We want a database UI to be seen and we have to practice.
Okay,
Raj,
after that,
what is sorry?
No, after the custom, it's asking select products, right?
Select product, go to MySQL, first one. You see these 3 she has selected right now, Pavani. This 3 will be there when you expand your, that particular boxes. You see that plus boxes you're seeing, right? When you expand it, you will see these 3. Okay, do it one after one. Okay, my shell will take little time because it has to do it on your CMD. Just wait, okay? It will be taking. Pavani, your voice is breaking, Pavani. Can you repeat again?
MySQL Server 8 is the latest version, or what is the latest version?
So we have seen, right? 8.3.4 is there. Okay.
Yeah.
These are all free versions. Okay. There's
Okay.
the paid versions will be having a more version than this. Okay. We want only free ones. This is an official being given by MySQL Direct.
Okay.
Oh, completed. Next. Click next. Okay. Yeah. Ready to configure. Just wait. Okay. Connection type is still you need to use same networking. So we don't need to TCP. Is fine. Open firewall ports for the network access. Same access is fine. This is also okay. Okay, one sec. Connectivity. Can you drop down that configuration type? Development computer only we need it. Okay. Server computer. No, development is fine. Okay, select that and go to next. Okay, check this, guys. You don't need to make any changes here. Okay, go as is. Okay, go next. Use strong password recommended. Yes, strong password we need. Go with that selection only. Okay, give some password, which you can remember. Okay, you give now and after an hour, you don't forget it. Okay, just keep it safe. Okay, click next. Okay, configuration MySQL. Okay, MySQL DP8 is fine. Standard a system account is itself is okay. We don't need custom user. This is all good. Go next. No changes to this window also, guys. Okay, permissions also grant all full permissions. Okay, please go ahead. Okay, MySQL and MySQL it is getting created. Okay, just wait. So here we need few configurations. Writing configuration file. Okay, one sec. Can you select that? You able to select it?
No.
Oh, it's selected, auto selected. Can you go to log as well? Okay, fine. Anyway, it will select it. It's all auto selected. Everything that is fine. Click execute. Execute.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, finish it off. Okay. Configuration completed. Click next and finish. Finish it off. One. Yeah, finish it off. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. C drive, program files, and this is fine. Okay, this is fine. You can close it down. This one you can close it down. Okay. Yeah, this one is already there. This we will see. This is your root user. You see here, your host is also created. Can you double click on that? This is local instance being created for you. Double click that. Yeah, give your password. Save password in Vault. Click that save password in Vault. Okay, click OK. Okay, can you go to your, so you got your this one created. Can you go to your databases on the top? Top. Yeah, that one. Okay, connect one sec. Connect to database. Okay, your host name is 127.0.1.0.1.0.1. Okay, keep this in mind. Okay, we will use this port. Port is also created. TCP/IP is created. Okay, this configuration, whatever you're seeing on your configuration board now, right? This particular configuration we will be using to connect from a Python or any other place. This is the place we will be using. It's okay. Anywhere we can get it. We will get, whenever you click the databases, connect to database, we will be getting this information. Okay, so don't worry, it will be available. Now we need to set up your configuration. Okay, so can you go to your C drive? Guys, this video will be saved, and if you are noting down is also good. This video will also be shared with you, so you can go through step by step and you can set it up in the same way. Okay, C drive, can you go to C drive? Program files, yeah, program files, correct. Open that program files. Check if there is anywhere MySQL is there at the bottom. Yeah, there. Open that and open MySQL Server 8.0 server. MySQL Server 8.0. Correct. Okay, just wait. Bin docs. Okay, open the bin. Okay, bin is also there. Can you take this path? Copy this path. Can you come down once? Can you come down once? Library files. One sec, slowly. Can you go? Ah, yeah, I could see that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Can you take this path? Yeah, copy it to your notepad somewhere. Just copy that. Okay, yeah, that's right. And go to your environmental variables. Can you click on start button? Can you go to environmental variables? Start, Windows start. Yeah, environmental variables. Yeah, open the below one settings, under settings. Open that. You have to change for your account. Okay, in this one, can you expand it a bit more? Okay, you see there is a path. Okay, it is already added to you. One sec, it is already added to you. Just a minute. Okay, can you copy that? I'm not able to say it properly. Can you copy that path information? Can you copy?
I'm not able to copy.
No, above go that top one. Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Okay, what you do is edit that. Click edit. Wait. Okay, copy the first line only copy the first line and compare with your copied location from C drive. We just copy into notepad, right? Just compare, both are same. Copy there under that only. Yeah, copy under that. Okay, perfect. It is matching fine. So your environmental variables also automatically set up. Okay, so this is one major point, guys. So for few of the folks, this environmental variable will not be set up while it is installing. Okay, It's because due to the versions or the OS backend we have, so that installation, CMD installation will not set up this for few people. If it is set up like this, for her, it's nicely set up. Okay. So if it is not happen for you, all you need to do is go to your environmental variables, click on this path. So can you close this, Pavani? Yeah, just close
Yes.
this. Okay. Yeah. So click on edit. You will not see this top, whatever she has highlighted, right? All you need to do is click add new and just put this path inside that. Okay. If you click new, you will be getting in another window to add some content to it. So put this path and okay. Click OK, Pavani. Okay. Click OK, click OK. So yours is nicely set up. That's fine. Good. Okay. Now this is also close it down. Okay. So your window is all good now. Okay. You're being set up. So tomorrow what we do is we'll start creating a schemas. We'll start creating a tables and we will be practicing everything from here. Okay. So anybody have questions on this? Windows 11. I don't know what is your name. Shashir, Sunil.
Yeah, sir, this is 32-bit installer, right? Is it
Yeah,
okay
this
to
is,
install it 64-bit?
sir, what is that? This is 32-bit, correct?
So is it okay to install it 64-bit
Yeah, it's
machine?
okay to 64. If your capacity, if you have that your capacity for your laptop, go with that.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Shashir, you are unmuted yourself. Any questions, Shashir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So I already installed MySQL.
Okay.
So I don't know whether the version is same or not. Uh, so do I need to uninstall and reinstall again, or can I continue with the same?
Do you have Workbench?
Yes, yes.
Workbench is there. Huh? So if Workbench is there, then it's fine. That's true.
Okay, okay.
Majorly what happens is few people will actually do that installation, but they see only the shell commands.
Okay.
They won't be having a workbench. Workbench is where you actually do all your query. When you go to the companies also, inside of projects, we will be working on a workbench. Very, very, very rare we will be doing on a shell commands. We don't do most of shell commands. 99.99% is always on a UI. Okay. Soumya, for you, right? So I will ping you the link, okay, from where you can do it. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't try this on Mac OS anytime. You can try and you can post your questions to me post your questions on a group, okay? And then we will try to resolve it. Okay, whoever is the Mac OS folks, right? So I'm pinging you. I pinged it in chat. You can pick up that link, okay? Okay, so let me check. There is a question. Is 32-bit? Is it okay to install 64? Yeah, 64 is fine. It's the same link for Mac. So Mac, Soumya, I have shared it just now. So you can pick that one, okay? Okay. Raj, you are still okay with the link? Are you looking for a link? Fine. Okay, that's fine. What is system and environmental variables? Yeah, system variables, right? So what happens is if you have an explicit set of paths, you will be doing some account. So not system and account and system, right? So account is when you are explicitly changing yourself. System is something control panel will change that one. That is, those are constant. Those needs and admin activities. Okay. So admin credentials, you need to change that. Okay. So for your system, you will be admin for that. So you can make a changes still, but those are two different types. System variables is something for the installations what you made. Control panel is something for your systems. Okay, that is like where is your motherboard parts, where is a different parts, driver parts and all will be available. Okay. What is the difference between data lake and delta lake? Okay, this is one Databricks concept. Okay. So you are here. One sec, let me go here. Okay, data lake is something we are already been, so we where you are going to have different kinds of, different kinds of data. That means you are going to have structured, unstructured, or any kind of data, which is not a new concept, which is already there in many places. where you can
Your voice is breaking, Krishna.
to everyone.
Yes,
Now it is
Krishna.
fine. I believe. Yeah.
Check, guys, just give me a minute. Let me share my screen. Let me check unmute and mute myself. Okay, fine. So what is sorry, Delta Lake? Sorry, not Delta Lake, Data Lake, right? So Data Lake is something we already understand to store a data where you are going to have any kind of information. Okay, it's a data lake. There is no lake house yet. Okay, it's a data lake. That means it's a purely you have a place where you are going to store any kind of structured data. It's a structured data, semi-structured data. It can be anything. Okay, this particular data lake, you cannot write a queries directly on top of it. Okay, unless we are into some cloud areas. Okay, so what happens is, now I would say, how many people of you know that is Athena is there? Okay, Athena is one of the AWS service. What you can do is you can have your files, right? I'm talking about files, explicitly files. Okay, so now data lake, I'm treating here it as S3. S3 is a one more service. Okay, you put all the files over here. Okay, on top of it, what you do is you will write an Athena and you create a table. This table is something. While I'm writing this table, creating this table, I'll say that table, always you should get a data from here particular location where the file name starts with employee. Okay, it could be unstructured file, structured file, or it could be any file. Okay, but this Athena, what happens is directly we will read the data from this employees. Whenever you write select, saying that select start from table. Okay, when I write this one will route the request to this S3 and brings the data from here, and it will pushes the information from you. Okay, so this have all the information. So Delta Lake, anything you can upload on your data lake in a files format, and you will be getting a data, creating an extra layer on top of it. Okay, so when you comes to a Delta Lake, okay, it's a new concept being introduced by Databricks. Okay, probably in the last 2 years, not 1.5 year probably, that's all. Okay, it's an open source storage area, same like a Delta Lake. Okay, so data lake, same like a data lake layer. Okay, this what happens is on top of data lake. Okay, so what you can do, a Delta Lake is a one format. You can have a database, so Delta Lake database, okay, a data warehouse you can call, where you can able to have your all the information stored in a table like structures. Okay, that means you can able to maintain the acidic in nature of informations. So we didn't discuss this acidic, right? So we will discuss this. You can have an acidic natures. Okay, and you can have your metadata be stored. Okay, you can have your unified streaming also can be done. All this can be automatically done by your Delta Lake. Okay, so Delta Lake is something, it's a one specific, they say that it's a concepts they have built on top of a data lake where you store the data. It can able to when you process the data, it can able to maintain that particular data in the table is going to be an acidic in nature, which is certain consistency and isolated durabilities. Okay, and automatically it maintains a metadata for it. Okay, automatically you can have a unified streaming of a data. So there is a streaming of a data, right? When it is coming direct, you've been keep placing your files onto your data lake and you want to stream, you have settled down, you have built a streaming and you want to do that streaming, you can do it in a Delta Lake. And they say that this particular Delta Lake can be used for both streaming and batch data processing also. Okay, so you can able to build this kind of structures on a Delta Lake, which is being introduced by a Databricks. Okay, so if you ask me, Krishna, yes, this is a new concept is being doing by a Databricks. No. Okay, this is already there with the Snowflake with just a different name. Okay, so we call, if you want to do this acidic in nature property, automatically your Snowflake follows this. Metadata, yes, Snowflake maintains, which is in an information schema. Okay, automatically it maintains that. It also does a unified streaming. So what is unified streaming? Which is, if you set once a Snowpipe, it is a unified streaming, you can able to do it. Okay, does it make a batch processing? Yes, it can also make a data batch processing based on the schedules you are going to do it on a tasks. Okay, just a different names, different concept name. Okay, Snowflake, as this has been implemented way ahead. Delta Lake, which has came up in just a 1.5 year or 2 years back. Okay, so this is majorly for a more flexibility they call, because so one more thing I need to appreciate with the Databricks is these are the guys who came up with a couple of worksheets where you can write both your Python and your SQL. Okay, and in a single sheet itself you can able to write this by using a magic commands. Okay, so but this is lacking in a Snowflake. I would say Snowflake also, first Databricks came up with this flexibility of writing the codes. Okay, now Snowflake has adopted from a Databricks. Okay, that one concept I always says that Databricks has been reinvented the wheel over there, and that's been copied into Snowflake. Now inside a Snowflake also you see a worksheets, like you can have your SQL worksheet, you can have your Python worksheet, you can have your Java worksheet, you can have your Scala worksheets. Okay, it's been copied from Databricks, I would frankly say that. Okay, and one more thing, what happened is, like this Databricks in a single sheet, you can write first 10 lines to SQL, then use a magic command, you can convert another 10 lines to a Python. Okay, in a single sheet you can able to do that. But when it comes to a Snowflake, you need to have these two codes in two different sheets. Okay, but finally when you are implementing it, either you will go within a Python, either you will go with a SQLs, right? So that one thing is still lacking in a single sheet, accommodating all types of code is something is not being implemented in a Snowflake. Okay, so does that make sense to your question? Who was that asked? Are you good with it or not?
Yes, Krishna.
Okay, so yeah, last one, right, guys? I have missed to tell this, right? Acidic nature, right? So this is the one I'll cover this for today. Can't hear you properly. Yes. Okay, acidic, right? So now atomicity, okay, consistency, isolate, and durability. Okay, so this one we will understand with example. Okay, many databases which says that they follow acidic properties. What is that means? Very important question to understand, and important question for the interview, and this brings up your basic knowledge of understanding how it behaves. Okay, atomicity, right? What is atomicity? I think this example few of you folks already know it, but let me put, because this is an easy example to make it understand. Okay, so there is a transaction happening from a person to person, person 1 to person 2. There is a transaction happening, 300 rupees. Okay, so now what happens? A transaction being initiated by P1 and it has to go to P2. Okay, so now what happened? P1 300 initiated. Okay, and then P2 300 should be credited. This is expecting. Okay, this is expectations. Okay, so what happened is 300 is credited from him, but 300 is debited from him, but 300 is not credited to him. Okay, so it is not happened. In this scenarios, databases says that something is being generated but not inserted into the tables. Okay, not inserted to the tables. So that means that this whole transaction will get cancelled. Okay, what is this atomicity says is, if any transaction should be happened, all the transactions should be completed with togetherness. Okay, any one of this being failed, the whole transaction is failed. Okay, so now coming to the database perspective, saying that you are trying to load 100 records into tables. Okay, if one record failed, okay, all 100 records will be failed. Nothing will be loaded. Okay, so this is called atomicity. Databases maintain this atomicity to make sure that all the transactions are togetherly being completed. If any one of the transaction been failed, so I'm not going to commit, or I'm not going to have this data to be stored in my databases. Okay, it's very important for the business, right? So do you think that bank has debited here and it is not credited to the someone's account? Okay, this will happen in a phone pay or somewhere, right? Then what will happen within 24 hours? This money will be reverted back to here. Okay, so how it is getting reverted back? Because this transaction is failed. How they will identify the banks? This is called atomicity. Okay, so they make sure this is happening at everywhere. Every transaction been completing that. Okay, this is called atomicity. Next one is consistency. Okay, just a minute, guys. Just give me 1 second. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Yeah, someone I have to attend. Okay, so next one, atomicity we understand. Okay, any questions on atomicity? Did we understand atomicity? Why it is important? Either it is for databases, either it is for banks, for everyone. Okay, I hope you guys understand it. Okay, so next one is consistency. Okay, what is consistency, right? So example, I would say that, okay, there is what example you can take. Okay, so let's take like this. So you have a bank savings account. Okay, you have savings account. Okay, in savings account you have 50,000 rupees. Okay, in this 50,000 rupees, what happened is you went into a bank. Okay, and you wrote a check. Okay, you wrote a check saying that 55,000 rupees. Okay, 55,000 rupees you have been written a check. Okay, so overdraft or whatever you can say. Okay? You have written a check called 55,000 rupees, and that check you have been submitted. Okay, what happens to this check? You have only 50,000. Okay, this is bank. You literally went into bank. Okay, and you submitted that. This is, you checked in your ATM, there is only 50,000 rupees. Okay, what will happen to your check if you try to withdraw more? Ideally it should get cancelled, right? It should get cancelled. It should not be like, okay, I'll pay 50,000. Okay, other 5,000 I'll fail it. Okay, this should not happen. This is something a failure scenario. Okay, in this spaces, what happens is, when it is failed, for what reason it failed? It made a consistency at all places. Okay, showing to the bank, yes, this guy have only 50,000, but he's written an overdraft for 55,000. At a bank level, it's ATM also, it is showing 50,000 to you. Okay, so you have to maintain these consistencies everywhere. What is, when you comes to a database, what is this consistency means? Okay, so now what happened is, to a table, you have loaded that, you have been, you have been transferred 50,000 to your friend, and to your friend account, okay, the 50,000 is credited. Okay, it's already credited. He got a message saying that 50,000 is been credited. Then what he has done is, he logged in into his app. He logged in into his app, but still he sees that 50,000 is not credited. Okay, this is a wrong information. Okay, when you executed your SQL query, you are writing a data into your table. It's saying that, yes, I have inserted 100 records, but you are selecting the data from your table. It is not showing even a single record is available in that. Okay, so what is the problem? Inconsistency happened over there. Okay, but what is this consistency says that when you have been credited 50,000 to your account, you log in from an app, you log in from a web, you go to a bank, you go to ATM, everywhere I will be showing saying that there is a 50,000 been credited to your system. Okay, it maintains the consistency at every place. If you don't maintain the consistency at any place, okay, this kind of issues will be happening. What will happen? Actually, he has transferred to 50,000, but he is not able to see this information 50,000 on his app, or he couldn't able to withdraw that ATM 50,000. Okay, that means there is some problem. Okay, databases will ignore this kind of issues. What ignore means? This kind of issues will be failed. Okay, it makes sure it is consistent at every place. Okay, once the database you have loaded, the data has been committed to particular databases, it maintains the consistency to be shown at every place. Okay, this is called consistency. Okay, togetherness and consistency. Consistency means maintaining the same information, maintaining the same accessibilities at every place. Okay, Next one is an isolate. Okay, isolate, right? So what happens is, same example, same above example. Let's take above example. Your account is having 1,000 rupees. Okay, now what happened is you're transferring, okay, in motion. You're transferring 500 to your friend. Okay, at the same time you're withdrawing 500 from ATM. Same time, same minute, same second, same exact time it is happening. Somehow it is happening. You are making with 2 hands, you are making this transaction happening. Okay, so then what happens is 500 is being credited. Okay, and your ATM you have withdrawn 500 also. Okay, so when you try to check your balance, okay, same second it is happening. Okay, when you try to check your balance, it should show me 0. It should not show me that it is 500 is still pending. Okay, 500 is still there. It should not show me that. Okay, so anything, any transactions is being communicated at the same point of time. Okay, all the transactions will happen in an isolated way. That means there is no correlation between these two. Okay, it says that let this transaction completed, then my withdrawal will happen. It will not happen that way. It makes sure both transactions happen in an isolated way, and make sure both transactions are being completed. Okay, and either completed or failed, that consistency should be maintained here. Okay, so every transaction in a databases happens in an isolated way. Okay, every transaction will have on their own prominence, and it will be completing it. Okay, to maintain this consistency, it should not show me saying that 500 is there. Okay, if both are completed, so it will not wait for this transaction to be completed, or it will not wait for this transaction to be completed. Both will be running parallelly in their isolated ways. Okay, so that way it can able to complete. There is no dependencies. Okay, everything have a prominence, everything has an importance, and everyone will be completed in databases. This is how isolation works. Okay, and last one. Okay, last one is durability. Okay, can you guess what is a durability? What is the meaning of a durability? What is a durability? A normal English word. What is durability means? Okay,
long lasting.
Long lasting. Very good condition. Okay, very good. Okay, condition. Yeah, condition. Okay, that's a complete sentence. Condition of what, Salman? Any other guess? Okay, so what happens means durability is nothing but anything which is being already implemented. Okay, unbreakable during the time. Very good condition. Correct, right? So anything which is completed or implemented. Okay, we want to make sure that is been staying for a long time, and that is being available somewhere. So it's something like I would say, okay, now I made some transaction. Okay, I made some transaction, and that transaction is completed. When it is completed, I will be expecting saying that that completion message is showing me in my history. Okay, go to Paytm or UPI, any UPI, right? You make some transaction. Your next moment of expectation is you will come back to the history and you will see there is a transaction is been completed. That commitness. Okay, that commitness is there. Think that you made a transaction, but it is not showing in your history. What is your assumption? Is it the transaction is completed, or is it transaction is still pending, or what happened to the transaction? Okay, durability is something that if a transaction is being completed, your expectation and it should do is it should come and write it into your databases. It should come and write it into your history saying that you've been transferred this money at your at this particular point in time. Okay, that's called durability. Durability is nothing but whatever happens once your transaction is being completed. Okay, the changes of the transaction should be written to your database, should be written to your history. Okay, your history is nothing but you are maintaining that into some place. That place I am calling it as called as a database. Okay, that's called your durability. Okay, a commitment, constant commitment. Okay, a constant commitment to the database. Okay, once the transaction is completed. Okay, if any databases are following this all properties, okay, Any database which is following this all properties, we call it as a very good database. And all the databases also will be designed in a way in a backend. So they will make sure this all the properties being followed in the databases. Okay. So this is when someone asks you saying that what is aesthetic properties means, you need to say all this ones. And if they ask you any example, you can give these examples. Okay. Does it make sense? Anybody have question on this? Any questions? Yes, no, good, bad.
So this applies to NoSQL database also.
So some NoSQL databases, there are exceptions. Okay. They usually what they do is, that's okay. If something fails is fine for me. But whatever I'm getting right now, for example, I would say IoT devices. Okay. IoT devices, what we do is, okay, so we will be continuously getting data. Lot of data you will be getting. Example, traffic cameras, right? So you will be getting a lot of data for every second. Okay. So heavy traffic will be there here. Okay. To get the data into your databases. In that cases, what we do is, it's okay. It's okay to lose some data. Okay. It's okay to lose some data. So most of the data I'll use it, I'll come up with analysis. Okay. So they will compromise at some places. Wherever they are compromising this NoSQL databases, right? So they won't activate this one. Okay. If you activate this, what happens is, if any data which is coming to me have any of these problems, that record will not get into my databases. So what I'll do is, I'll switch off this one. I don't put any restrictions to it. What I'll do is make sure whatever data is coming, let's put it into my database. Whatever is available. If there is 1 record, 2 records, 10 records has been failing, that's okay. I can at least okay with this. Who will do is analysis, right? Trend analysis. Those guys, they don't worry about it. Okay. So if they lose 2-3 records out of a 1 million or 10 million, they are okay with it. Okay. In that cases, they will compromise this thing. Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay. If no questions, I just got a message. Okay. So guys, tomorrow we are not going to have a call. So we have a tech hub arranged. We have a tech hub in Bangalore. So KSR Data Vision is going to present themselves in tech hub. Okay. They are attending the tech hub. So tomorrow we are going for a tech hub. So tomorrow class will be mostly not there. And we will have the tomorrow's class on a day after tomorrow morning. Okay. So if there is any change in plan, so we have identified few folks to go for the tech hub for the product, discussions on a product. So few folks might not be there. Okay. In case if there is any change in plan in the tech hub, okay, we have applied for a slot, and ideally we might be getting a slot and we will be attending that. In case if there is any deviation in that one, so we will be posting it on a groups if there is a class tomorrow or not. Okay. Mukund, it's in Bangalore Palace. Okay, it's in Bangalore Palace. Check it in Google Tech Hub, Bangalore Tech Hub Summit. Okay, so you can check there and you can register as a visitor. Okay. Yeah. So we will keep you updated on that, guys. Okay, we'll keep you updated on that. Okay. Any questions for today? Okay, I take that as no questions then. Then we are good for today, and then we'll catch up tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on that. Okay. For till then, just have a rest of the day. Okay. And anybody needs any help, kindly ping me. Someone was asking me, are you
Hello, Krishna. So this is Madhu calling from Chennai. So actually, I have some doubt regarding the Snowflake related things. So can you please share your contact so that I can connect with you?
Yeah, I will be posting my contact. Okay, one sec. Let me quickly share this.
Shall I post this meeting? Or?
Yeah, you can call. Okay. So let me tell you that. Let me post the number. Okay, just give me 1 sec. I'll post the number here. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, anybody have any other questions? Okay. Are you conducting only online classes or is there offline class? Dinesh, as of now, there is no offline classes, Dinesh. But future probably we will be coming up. We do have a space, office space, and we were been arranging this offline classes before COVID, but now everyone was comfortable having online classes, but no offline classes for this at least.
And Krishna, what about any materials you'll be providing for everyday session or something?
So everyday session we will be providing. Now we have written that all the notes, right? These notes we will be supplying. And whatever we do labs in a class, right? So that one also we will be, supplying. Okay, that will be saved in your websites. So student portal you will be getting, right? So in student portal you will be seeing that for for a very long time you will be having access.
Okay, so there it will be uploaded, it's say. Okay.
There it will be uploaded, correct? Okay, for every class we have a notes also below it. Okay, Madhu, I have shared the contact. Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
So
Hey, Krishna, Samya here. I'm actually trying to install in Mac, and I'm not able to find it in downloads. If you or anybody has a link to the downloads for Mac,
you don't have a download.
You send me the documentation. It doesn't have a place where I can download the package.
Download the disk image. Disk images are there, right? So we're not seeing the disk images.
Yeah.
Okay, just let me get back. So I pinged one of chat with you. Okay. Okay, double click on MySQL. Yeah, you see that first point, right? To install MySQL. You see first point, you open the link which I shared with you.
Yes.
That in that you see there is a first point, download the disk image. The community version is available here. Here is a link. Here is the hyperlink.
Oh, the community. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Okay.
And it would be 8.2.0.
Select the Mac. Select the Mac. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's showing Mac. 8. Okay.
Yeah, 8.2 and check your is it which one can fit for your computer. Okay, I think you can go with the DMG archive. First one is fine. 567 is fine for you.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions, guys?